Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a basic pinch pot, and I also want to show you some ideas for adding texture to the outside of your pinch pot. So I do pinch pots with students just as a beginning project because it's a great way for you to become comfortable in working with clay, and it's not very overwhelming. It's a pretty basic process. As far as adding texture goes, texture is an element of art, and adding texture just makes your pinch pot more interesting.
So to begin, I'm going to have a board that I'm working from. I have some slip here in this container, and this is just, I tell students this is like a clay glue. Basically all it is it's clay mixed with water, and we use it to attach things together and with pottery. And then I have a few tools here. I have a modeling tool, a sponge. This is called a scoring tool. You can see it's got ridges on it, and a needle tool. So I'm gonna grab a chunk of clay here that I will turn into a pinch pot. And the first thing I wanna do is I just wanna work it into a sphere. While I'm working this sphere, I wanna get rid of all those cracks and bumps. I'm going to start off with a nice shape, so that will make it easier later on. There's my sphere. I'm ready for my next step. So my next step in pinch pots, I'm going to take my thumb and press down into the center of the sphere, and I'm just creating that center hole. Now, I didn't go all the way through, of course, but you want to go close enough down that it's not going to be too thick of a pinch pot. So that's the second step. Now all I'm going to do is just take my hand and form like a claw, and I'm putting my thumb inside, and I'm starting to pinch the clay at the base of the pinch pot. I'm not doing anything up here yet. I'm just working from the bottom first. And when you go to do wheel stuff, pottery wheel stuff, this is how you work the clay on the pottery wheel as well. You start at the bottom and you slowly work your way up. Okay. That looks pretty good. So if my top looks uneven, like you can see it kind of dips down like that, a quick easy trick that you can do to even it out is just use your board and just gently tap the pinch pot, and that will even it out a little bit better. I'm noticing it's a little thick on this side and a little thinner on some of the other sides. That's just the way that pinch pots are. We try to get them as even as possible, but they are hand built. That's kind of just the nature of this type of technique. So I really want to get the top smoothed out here. And this pinch pot has a really basic construction. I'm ready to do some extra things with it. Before I show you anything about texture, I want to show you what not to do. So I'm just going to quickly form this second pinch pot, and I'll show you what a lot of beginner artists do when they make a pinch pot. Okay, so let's take a look at this bad pinch pot. And what I want to do is I'm just going to slice this guy right down the middle and look at what's inside. So take a look at those walls. Notice how thin they are on the top of the pinch pot and how thick they are at the bottom. This is not what we want. What we want is something that is consistent the whole way through. So let's try slicing the pinch pot, my good pinch pot, and see how well I did. These aren't going to be perfect, but you can see it's much more even. So that's what we're going for. And the way that we achieve this is by pinching the bottom first and working your way up the sides. A lot of times beginners start pinching towards the top too soon, and then their tops get really crumbly and they start to crack. And then this is what they have on the inside. Okay, let's talk about texture. So one thing that I don't like about pinch pots is that they are so uneven, they're so lumpy, and they're just about impossible to get to be really smooth. So one way that we can kind of hide that flaw is we can put texture on the outside of our piece.
There are so many different tools you can use to create texture with clay. The backs of markers, you can use leaves, branches, texture tools, anything. Really, the sky is the limit. I just want to show you quickly how I support my piece while I roll the texture onto it so I don't lose its shape and crush the pinch pot. The only tool I do not recommend using are these needle tools here. The needle tools are too sharp, the lines that they create are really jagged, and after they get fired, they're really unpleasant. So instead, what I recommend to use if you want to put lines in your clay is just to use the back of a paintbrush or a dull pencil, maybe even a pen that doesn't work anymore, something that will create a softer line. And then after you draw the line, just go ahead and run your finger over the line just to soften it up even more. And there you have it, all the information that you should need to create a really cool pinch pot with some fun textures. I'm excited to see what you will create.